Yeah. Now, I want to get to something about how you get these documents, because you have a way of leaking documents. Can you describe that?
So that's actually how I got involved. Let me give just a really quick backstory. Ryan, so what I said a while ago, that this was the first time we got national attention, that was I was kind of fibbing, I realized after I said that, because Ryan, before the site actually launched in December 2016, in October 2016, he created a YouTube channel called Mormon Leaks and released 15 videos of private meetings with the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, in which they were being briefed by various people in various professions, right? And that made the New York Times. The New York Times wrote several articles about it. It was a big deal, and it was mostly a big deal because Senator Gordon Smith, I believe is his name, from Oregon. He's no longer a senator, but he's Mormon, and he was one of the people that was briefing the Quorum of the 12 in there. And he straight up said that he voted for the war in Iraq in hopes that it would help the Mormon Church spread their influence there, right?
Oh, wow.
So that fact alone is what made it national news. Anyway, so when Ryan got a lot of attention for releasing those, and he went on a podcast in which he explained how he got the documents. And that's when I approached him. I'd be like, look, your source left like digital fingerprints all over the place that could be traced back to them. I am a digital forensics professional. Let me help you protect your sources. And that's how I got involved. And we have a submission system called Secure Drop, which is it's a program written by the Freedom of the Press Foundation, meant specifically for this purpose. Publications such as the New York Times and the New Yorker and the Washington Post and the Guardian, they use the exact same thing to get anonymous sources. The Intercept also uses it. They're very closely related with the Freedom of the Press Foundation. But anyway, so I think there's a total of like 75 news organizations using it, and we're one of them. And what it does is it uses what's called the Tor network, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's a hidden network that you have to use special software to connect to, and it doesn't track your IP address, and everything's encrypted. And I'm not going to get into the huge technical details here of how that all works, but it does a really good job at keeping keeping you anonymous. You can never, ever keep somebody 100% anonymous. That's just completely impossible with the way our technology works today. But you can be pretty sure that they're going to be anonymous, right? And so we use that, and everything is, it goes to our server via Tor, and then it's encrypted on our server, and then we have to download it, and then we have to decrypt it, and then we review it, and then we redact any information that the source requests us to redact, and we almost always respect those wishes, unless we are really big. A document needs to stand on its own. So if we feel like the redactions from the source are going to take away from some context that isn't going to bring that gives a lot of significance to the document, we will push them on that and then come to an agreement there. But yeah, and we also have a process of like PDFs. I do a lot of cleaning before we release it to make sure that we don't leave any trace or fingerprint of the source. I don't know if you three are familiar with Reality Winner. And
yes.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So just quick story. Reality Winner was a NSA contractor, and she leaked something to the Intercept, and the Intercept released it. And there was what she had done was she had printed it on an NSA printer, and then scanned it. And she did that to get rid of any digital fingerprints that may have been in the PDF that she downloaded, right? And then scanned that and sent that scan to the Intercept. Well, the printer left a fingerprint on the document, and the Intercept didn't clean it. They were able, and the fingerprint said what printer, like it didn't straight up say, but it was like a series of dots that they could decode, and it indicated what printer, the model of printer that it was printed at, and the time. And so they were able to go back in their security camera footage and see who was at that printer at that time. They saw it was Reality Winner. They convicted her, and she was just sentenced to, I think, 6 years in prison for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. There's this thing called paper, pen. Wow.
Yeah, so it's the protecting sources is very hard, but also very important. We have a completely different what's called a threat model than the Intercept does. We're not releasing government documents. Like, people most likely are not going to go to prison for getting us but they very well could lose their jobs.
Well, I would think too they would have a record of who was downloading the document at some point.
Yeah,
you know, you could, if
definitely.
nothing else, you could just say, well, who the heck has been downloading this in the last couple of days or weeks?
Most definitely, yeah. Yeah.
So, metadata, it's a bitch.
Yeah.
Get you every time.